Hello, I am Molly, and this is my happiness project for Mr. Malafrina's class. Enjoy. The happiness formula is a topic brought up in Jonathan Haidt's book, The Happiness Hypothesis. At first read, I pretty much rejected any relevance this formula had to my life. What do these psychologists know about my happiness? After getting this project and looking into it more, I figured out they knew a lot more about my happiness, way more than I ever knew. So the formula is H equals S plus C plus V. Looks simple, right? Wrong. A lot of research, time, and collaboration went into crafting this simple 4-variable equation. So what do these letters even mean? Let's start with S. S stands for your set point of your happiness. After research into how environment affects your personality, mood, and happiness, psychologists discovered that happiness may be innate. The example Haidt uses is a thermostat in your body that has a set temperature. It can fluctuate momentarily, but it will always return to that set point. C stands for the conditions of your life. These are basically the external factors that we can mold and shape to make our lives easier and increase our prosperity. Some examples where Haidt says we can improve upon is noise. He states that this can mess with your concentration, and removing noise would allow you to be less stressed. Improving your commute. Driving is usually fun and stress-free, but being in morning traffic isn't ideal. Long commutes can equal stress. Lack of control. People that say that they have a control of their life are happier. He says to focus on what you can control and forget about what you can't. This goes hand in hand with the Stoic circle of concern and circle of influence, but don't worry, we'll get to that later. Shame. Being freed from the daily burden of being self-conscious, Haidt said, can boost your well-being. The condition that is arguably the most important is relationships. Surrounding yourself with people that do good things can make you happy. Focus on finding some true relationships that make you better. V stands for your voluntary actions. These actions should reflect what you love and what you're good at. Doing these activities usually leads to flow, which is what you feel when you're in the zone, but that's another topic for another day. Haidt makes the case for pleasures versus gratifications. Pleasures feel good in the moment, like eating a piece of cake or ice cream, but gratifications fully engage you and draw upon your strengths. These gratifications can be playing a sport, making music, photography, painting, or whatever you love. Finding a balance between these can be hard, but it can make your life worthwhile and happier in the long run. So what do these 3 variables add up to? They make up your overall happiness. Although you cannot control your set point, to an extent, you can control your conditions, and you can mold your voluntary activities to whatever you want them to be. So focus on your C and V, and not so much on material items that will only bring you monetary happiness. As I said earlier, when I read this formula, I wasn't sure how I could apply this to my life. But I sat down and reflected on my time in high school, and boom, I found an experience that would work pretty well. Sophomore year is by far the most difficult year to get through in my opinion. As a freshman, you are new. Everything is exciting and it's filled with all of your firsts. You're meeting new friends and you're getting in a new environment. As a junior, you get to look forward to prom, you have freedom. You get your license, you're in varsity sports, you take the SATs and you're looking at colleges. It's obvious why senior year is great. You have easy classes that you want to take, you have your lasts, and even though college apps are annoying, they keep you busy. In my experience, my sophomore year is the one year in high school where I had practically nothing to look forward to, and I fell into that trap pretty fast. Don't get me wrong. In sophomore year, I did have friends, I did do activities, and I did play a sport, but something just didn't feel right. For me, I had high hopes set for sophomore year. I wasn't a freshman, which is a bonus. I thought I would finally find my true friends, find some clubs or activities I was interested in, the whole 9 yards. I didn't have a firm grip on reality, and I became sad, and not just sad for a few weeks. I became sad for about 6 to 8 months, became really unmotivated, dull, and just really sad. I stopped going to soccer practice. I played sick so I wouldn't have to face school. I didn't do my homework, and I barely ever slept at night. At school, I would be cheery and upbeat, but when I got home, I'd chuck my backpack in a corner and nap the rest of the day. I didn't have any get up and go, and when summer came, I was relieved that this dreadful year had ended. If I would have had the attitude of a Stoic, my sophomore year and all my subsequent years would have been happier, and I would have had a better well-being. Stoic's main argument is that you cannot control the outside world, you can only control how you act to it. It is similar to Buddhism in that you should only spend your time thinking about things that you can personally change. Why waste your time on things that you can't? Things outside our circle of influence will only bring us pain. We need to let go of the things that we cannot change, and for me, my circle of influence were hard to distinguish between what I could control. I was too caught up in what people thought of me, and if I was doing what my group of friends thought was cool, and I ran myself into the ground. Looking back, I didn't do what I loved. Stoics say align yourself with what you love and what's good for you, which has been my new attitude in the last year. Getting back to the formula, my set point can't be changed, and it might not be as high as others, but it's not too low either. My conditions change, so I'm less stressed. I cut out toxic people from my life, gain true friends who really care about me. My voluntary actions have changed the most. I do what I want with my spare time. I take photos, I run, and I write. I spend time with people who emit good vibes and that make me want to do good. I've definitely become more mature since my sophomore year, and I've gotten better with dealing with my emotions. These sad feelings are coming less frequently, and whenever they do, I just try to remind myself that I can't control everything, and I shouldn't get too bummed out about it. So this was my happiness project for my philosophy class. Thank you for watching.